it's very unfortunate that they are, let me say, they are intrinsically ungrateful people. They take refuge in their incapacity, but I take it as not incapacity, but their indifferent attitude. They are not fully controlling the Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan, which is taking refuge there, which is recruiting, which is there getting training, which is getting arms and ammunition, of course, through Indian intervention and other hostile agencies who wish to see Pakistan destabilized and instability in Pakistan, the former FATA area and the KP region. They are being supported by them. And Afghan government is not taking any concrete measures. They are not even, as far as I know, they are not even ready to share the intelligence so that we, with the help of Pakistan Army and Pakistan intelligence, if they wish to neutralize them or control them, we can help them and build their capacity to control them. But unfortunately, they are not cooperating in that sense. And we are being, our armed forces and our innocent civilian are being targeted in entire KP region and even in Balochistan region. So that is where the difficulty lies. Certainly it is against Pakistan. And as I said, they should have been grateful to us. We housed them. And let's say USSR invasion back in 79, 80 was not our doing. Even the attack in America or Twin Towers and thereafter the coalition attack into Afghanistan and Operation Enduring Freedom was none of our making. We rather played a role. We did play a role in helping them out in getting their freedom. And later on, we did side with America to crush the terrorists based in Afghanistan. They should have been grateful because they have seen the peace and we housed them even then. We sheltered them and we provided them all kind of moral and physical support and material support to stand on their own and bring peace in Afghanistan. Because stability in Afghanistan, a stable Afghanistan is in the interest of Pakistan, and that is what we wish to see. Well, there are two things. First of all, in the Doha agreement, they had agreed to it, the present dispensation, the Afghan Emirate entered into an agreement with the coalition forces, NATO coalition, that we will not let the lands or the Afghanistan territory being used for creating terrorism or act of violence in any other country. We will not permit them. But unfortunately, they are not abiding by that agreement. They are not adhering to that agreement. And now they are calling it that this is Pakistan's internal problem. Well, if it is internal, we will fight them out and we are fighting them out. But when they are based in Afghanistan and they are attacking from there and after attack they retreat into Afghanistan, then it is very unfair on the part of Amir Khan Muttaqi to say it is their internal problem. Well, many of them may be of Pakistani origin, but they are being funded, assisted and trained in Afghanistan and they are using the soil of Afghanistan to attack Pakistan. So their sanctuaries are there, their bases of operation are there, and Afghan government is showing its inability for the last so many years. They are in power since 1921. So in 4 years, if they are unable to control them, then Pakistan has got the right, I personally feel, to go and strike their bases and take a punitive action against them, because we cannot carry the dead bodies of our soldiers every now and then. And you have seen in the recent month that we have lost very valuable asset there. Well, look, I'm not saying, or nobody believes in this thing that punitive action or offensive action against them or aggression against them is going to, I would say, finish or crush the terrorism which is originating from Afghan soil. There has to be a cooperation on the part of the government of Afghanistan, and both the governments, Pakistan and Afghanistan, they have to talk to each other to find a solution. We are willing always there. We are willing. We wish to talk to them, and we have many a time extended a helping hand. We only want cooperation from the government of Afghanistan. But when they are not cooperating and they show their inability or indifferent attitude, or they show their incapacity and take a refuge that, well, we have no control over the entire landmass of Afghanistan and they are doing, then we reserve the right to go and strike them and retaliate, because we cannot take the casualties and we cannot let them disrupt peace and constructive activities in former Fatah region. Well, restraint, first of all, we need two to tango. Afghanistan has to cooperate. The Afghan Emirate has to be on board. Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan has to be on board and has to reach an understanding with Pakistan that there is terrorism. TTP is housed in Afghanistan, whether it is with their cooperation or without their cooperation, or hostile agencies are supporting them, but they are using the territory of Afghanistan. If they agree to this, then we can reach a solution. We can find the way out to neutralize them. But if they do not sit on the table and if they do not agree on to this, then, well, Pakistan has to take a punitive action. As you said, we have lost hundreds and hundreds of soldiers and innocent civilians at the hands of these terrorists. So we cannot go on taking these casualties for an indefinite period of time. So there is a time, and I think Pakistan policy planners have reached a conclusion that they need to be struck, because if we close down the borders, Afghanistan is a landlocked country. We have leverages, very useful leverages. They need to come to Pakistan for health, for education, for trade, and for even import of wheat and rice and other daily consumer items from Pakistan. So if we close down the borders, they will find it very hard to live. So if they want us to cooperate and keep the borders open, then they have to rein in these terrorists who are residing in Afghanistan, and they have to cooperate with Pakistan. That is what Pakistan desires. We do not wish to occupy the landmass of Afghanistan. We do not wish to make any territorial gains. We do not wish to punish the innocent innocent Afghans. We do not wish to punish them. The idea is not to take a punitive action against the state of Afghanistan as such, but these terrorists and their sanctuaries cannot be spared if Afghan government shows its inability to rein them in or control them. Well, I'll not go that far to say that the Afghan Emirate as a whole is an Indian proxy. They are a sovereign state. They have got the right to have diplomatic relations with any country that they wish to, as long as they agree on, as the Moscow dialogue recently concluded, they were part of it. Pakistan has a de facto recognition of Afghanistan. Our ambassador is based there. And we are interacting with them and always in communication with their government. So there is no such thing that we dub the entire Afghan Emirate as terrorists or as proxies of India. But certainly Ajit Doval and Modi mindset is that they would like to destabilize Pakistan and would like to use their intelligence networks based in Afghanistan to fund them, to arm them, and to train the terrorists who are taking refuge in Afghanistan. So maybe the Afghan government would like to control, or they may look the other way, but I would not say that they are doing it as a state policy against Pakistan, but certainly some elements are being held by Indians. Well, first of all, we need to invite them to the dialogue. We need to interact with the government of Afghanistan. We need to convey our sensitivities and our concerns, which are already very well known and have been conveyed to the Afghan government many a times. But the diplomatic channel must function. Political dialogue must go on. We must convey our concerns to the government of Afghanistan and ask them to cooperate and do not permit the Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan or other terrorist elements like BLA and others to destabilize Pakistan or to carry out terrorist activities in Pakistan while they are taking refuge in Afghanistan. So the diplomatic channel must remain open. Dialogue with the political government must remain open. But to bring them to the dialogue table, I am in favor of this thing that if we have to close down the border for a next number of days, we must close it down. If we have to take a punitive action against known hides of the terrorists, we must do it because it is very demoralizing for the army and those troops who are operating there. As a general, I know if they have to pick up the bodies of their colleagues every now and then, certainly they would demand from the government of Pakistan and from the Chief of Army Staff to take a punitive action against those bases which are beyond their reach. So that is, I think, it has to be a two-pronged strategy: military action, limited military action, directed against the known hides, not against the innocent Afghans, but, and at the same time, the dialogue and diplomatic measures should continue because that is going to bring the lasting peace. Pakistan wishes to see stable Afghanistan. We wish to see benefit from their stability, and we want to extend a helping hand as we have always been doing, but not at the cost of the lives of innocent soldiers and men of Pakistan. Well, any terrorist bases in Afghanistan are a cause of concern for Russia, for China operating and working and carrying out developmental work and exploration work and exploration of their mineral sites. It is concern for China. It is concern for point of concern for Iran, and certainly a grave point of concern for Pakistan. So when it is when these terrorists are housed there, they are funded and trained, then India is indirectly contributing toward the regional instability, which must be brought to the notice of the United Nations, and Pakistan must take up this point with the government of India. And I would go a step further. If they do not comply with this thing, and if they do not wish to listen to this, then India should be paid in the same coins. Well, border fence in itself, as a soldier, as I know, and as you said, my combat experience, no obstacle is an obstacle unless it is kept under observation and under fire. Now, keeping entire 2,690 kilometers long border, every inch of it under observation and under fire, we do not have those unlimited resources and the manpower to go and guard every inch of it. It has to be done for mutual convenience and mutual cooperation. So in this regard, there has to be a politico-military solution to this. Guarding a fence is not possible, every inch of it. We have fenced it at the cost of over $800 million or something, but guarding it has to be with the cooperation of the Afghan government and the Afghan army. So if they cooperate, then both of us stand to benefit from that. So this fence alone is not going to protect Pakistan. So there are designated crossing points. Afghan government should permit only movement across the border through these points, and anyone crossing the border illegally should be taken on militarily by establishing or well citing the checkpoints that those who can control the movement across the border. So that is how it has to be done, I think, both ways. Well, taking a chance, one is a question of intentions and the other is capabilities. And in military strategy or in military terminology, as we say, that you plan against the capability of the enemy and not against the intentions, because intentions can change overnight. India may think that we are embroiled on the western border and they may undertake a limited action. I do not rule out the possibility, though I do not consider it very likely at the same time, because they have learned a lesson and Pakistan is going to go all out to ensure its territorial integrity and the safeguarding of the interest of the people of Pakistan and interest of Pakistan. So I do not think that India will jump the gun and take advantage of this skirmish and take an initiative against Pakistan. But Pakistan must take all safeguards and be prepared and do not look the other way. And Pakistan must keep its intelligence tentacles very, very alert and monitor the eastern border at the same time, which we never neglect otherwise also.